Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Thursday, November 7th, 2019. I am Fredicia Liebert. Members of the security forces seized almost 300 pounds of cocaine following a search carried out on a yacht that ran aground on Sunday, November 3rd. The street value of the cocaine is estimated at more than 12 million EC dollars. The yacht, which was taken to the Coast Guard base, was searched by members of the security forces on Monday, November 4th, and more than 120 packages of cocaine was discovered. According to a press release issued by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force on November 6th, the find was only possible because members of the public said something when they saw something out of the norm. A joint response was made following a report that a yacht had run aground at Pump Bay, Sandy Point. Adolph Adams, Assistant Commissioner of Police with responsibility for operations, has described the seizure as one of the largest in the history of the Federation. He commends the officers in the Anti-Narcotics Unit, the Special Services Unit, Customs, and the Defense Force Coast Guard for their courageous effort in effecting this operation. He said in recent times there has been a number of reports of vessels entering the waters of the Federation and conducting illegal transactions. He thanked the members of the Sandy Point community for being forthcoming with the information that led to the seizure. According to ACP Adams, presently a suspect is at large and is being sought by the police as investigations into this matter are ongoing. Anyone who has any information in relation to this matter is asked to contact the Sandy Point Police Station at 465-6261 or the nearest police station or crime hotline at 707. Today, the Caribbean National Fisherfolk Organization, NFO, in collaboration with the Climate Change Adaptation of Fisheries Sector in the Eastern Caribbean Project, CC4Fish, and Department of Marine Resources, hosted a one-day workshop titled Climate Change Mitigation by Fisherfolks in the Caribbean at the Nevis Disaster Management Department's Emergency Operations Center. The facilitator, Michelle Lay, coordinator of the Caribbean Network of Fisherfolk Organization, outlined what he expects from the one-day workshop.
So I really want you throughout this day to focus on the things that you think are important to bring benefit to the fisheries sector. Because at the end of the day, I would like to leave here with some recommendations as to how St. Kitts and Nevis fisherfolk would like to see the fisheries sector develop and how they would like to improve their livelihoods and to continue to make the kind of contribution that the fisheries sector make to the nation.
Permanent Secretary Huey Sargeant spoke on behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture.
Fishing is an extremely important activity in agriculture because we're in the Ministry of Agriculture, the Department of Marine Resources, and our job is mainly food security and fishing and the provision of fish. Fish is an important protein for our livelihoods and for our well-being. So fishermen and fishing is extremely important to our economy, especially in the fact that quite a number of fishermen go out daily to ply their trade. It is a viable business opportunity. You guys do really very important work, and it's very risky. I want to once again, on behalf of the Minister and the Ministry, give our blessings to this activity. And as Mitch said, we want to hear from the fishers and the representatives of all the fisher organizations so that they can make concrete suggestions that can be taken forward, and whether at the local, regional, or international level, the policies can be put in place to ensure the survival of this very important industry.
The overall objective of the workshop is to update fisher folks on CC4 fish activities and promote their participation in the national activities, build awareness and understanding of climate change impacts and vulnerability for effective climate adaptation in the fisheries sector, identify existing concerns of climate change impacts on fisher folks at the national level, identify 3 to 4 priority areas where fisher folks consider urgent attention, and discuss suitable actions to safeguard fishers' livelihoods. The 7 CC4 fish project countries are St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Trinidad and Tobago. Still to come, local businesses assist in expanding organic gardening project at St. James Primary School. The details after this break.
Hotels on Nevis exist in great variety. The range of architectural styles are wide. Some are historic, some are modern, and yet others skillfully straddle both. Whether your choice is on the beach or in the hills, your stay would be comfortable and memorable. Nevis is one of the most unspoiled and relaxing islands in the Caribbean. Vividly green with blue skies, clean air, and long, empty beaches. Nevis has a pace of life that encourages you to stop and appreciate all the modern natural beauty around you. It's a very special place, famed for its charm and easygoing genuineness of its people. Nevis is a special place that will seduce you and tug at your heartstrings after you leave. Come and discover this remarkable jewel for yourself. The genuine charm and hospitality radiate into the unspoken. Welcome, be my guest, and do come again.
This one is dedicated to my lovely little island.
Welcome back. The One Love Rastafari Movement and Natural Livity Holistic Foundation recently held an event to thank a group of individuals and organizations who have assisted in the successful improvement and expansion of a tire recycling and organic gardening project at the St. James Primary School. Delroy Iroy Pinney, who chaired the ceremony, noted that the One Love Rastafari movement funded the initial project, which was the brainchild of Shelley Huggins, a teacher at the school.
We as the Rastafari movement, we are the one who set up the basic infrastructure, the fencing and the irrigation, and put the tires in place. But in terms of the planting and the maintenance and the reaping of the crops, it's really done by the school and the students. That is what I would like to highlight as the success of the project over the past years. The way the garden is set up, each child has a tire. That is the planting receptacle, a tire. Each child has a tire. And so now we've expanded and we've added some extra tires that will be used by the teachers and by the school kitchen. We would have sought the help of some of our partners, stakeholders within the community to assist us in expanding the garden. Of course, we gave them the objectives and let them know what it was all about, and gave them our budget, and they responded in a very hearty way.
The expansion of the project was sponsored by the St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla Trading and Development Company Limited, TDC, Nevis Car Rental, Nisbet Plantation Beach Club, Tafari Inde, and the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
We have new fencing, new poles, we have all new drip lines and shut-off valves, new PVC and so on. And that is exactly where the money was put.
The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis was represented by Jean Alcendor-Browne.
The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, the bank that lends a helping hand, prides itself in the sustenance of agriculture and the enhancement of youth. So again, on behalf of the Development Bank, we would like to thank Mr. Delroy Pinney and members of the One Love Rastafari movement, the principal, staff, and student of the St. James Primary School for bringing us on board this initiative, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Also endorsing the project were Deputy Director Floyd Liburd, who offered the Department of Agriculture's assistance in the maintaining of the garden, as well as Renald Daniel, School Meals Coordinator, who congratulated the One Love Rastafari movement for getting the community involved in the project. Members of the community who attended the October 29th ceremony also got a tour of the improved and expanded organic garden at the St. James Primary School. Education consultant Dr. Simone Doctors is this week meeting with stakeholders in education in St. Kitts and Nevis with the aim of professionalizing teaching. The initiative is funded by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, which is supporting a number of countries, including St. Kitts and Nevis, to develop teacher policies.
For a number of years now, we've known that having good quality, motivated, well-supported, well-trained teachers is a key to education quality. It's very important that a teacher policy has the widest support from all of the different involved parties. So that means we have to talk to teachers, we also need to talk to principals, to Ministry of Education representatives. We're also going to talk to civil society. We've been talking to pupils this morning. We had a very engaging discussion with a group of pupils who had some very definite ideas about what makes a good teacher and what they would like to let their teachers to benefit from.
The education consultant believes the process needs to be a bottom-up approach.
It doesn't make sense for this sort of initiative to be imposed, for example, by UNESCO or by the Ministry of Education, because it's important that a teacher policy really speaks to the needs of teachers and school principals and education officers in their daily work. And it's important that they feel ownership of the policy and that it addresses their particular needs.
Following the consultations, Dr. Doctors is expected to draft an overarching framework which will be reviewed by the stakeholders groups who will be allowed to suggest modifications.
The hope is that that document will then act as a foundation for the different areas of development, which will then take place over a number of years. And we're talking about quite significant areas. We're talking about teacher education, so both initial education and CPD, continuous professional development. We're talking about working conditions. We're talking about the concept of a career path. So we hope that teachers will be able to see where they can go, how to get there, and that will be a rewarding process which encourages professional development along the way, and that professional development is actually rewarded by incremental pay increases, extra responsibility, and that therefore we can build up a cadre of professional, highly qualified, highly competent teachers who are then able to mentor and support junior teachers as they come into the profession.
Similar consultations will also take place in St. Kitts. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liburd. Thank you for viewing.